Hi, and welcome to today's live video. I'm Dr. Achyutan Ishwar, the co-founder of nutritionscience.in and Sampoorna Ahara.com. I'm a lifestyle physician that's dedicated my life to helping you and your family live longer, healthier lives through evidence-based nutrition and lifestyle medicine. Our goal at Sampoorna Ahara is to make healthy eating easier for you. Now, we believe that it should be just as easy as the click of a button to prevent disease, treat it, potentially even reverse it through delicious meals, snacks, and sweets, and even online courses where we teach you how to prepare these absolutely fantastic delicacies at home every single day. Today, we have a special guest with us. I'm going to be introducing Kiran Reddy, who has been a member of the Sampoorna Ahara movement since its very inception. He has traveled abroad, he's lived in various countries, and he has come back here and he's adopted a healthier diet and lifestyle for himself and for his family. Today, he's going to be sharing his experience with us, the benefits he experienced, the benefits his family experienced, the difficulties he faced, and how he overcame them to live a happier, healthier life today. So please join me in welcoming Kiran. Thank you so much, Kiran, for taking your time and spending it here with us today. We're very happy to have you on board with us on the Sampoorna movement. Thank you for
No
coming.
problem, doctor. Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you.
Great, great. So, Kiran, could you tell us a little about yourself, about your background, what you do, and where you are today?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Kiran Reddy. I was born in Bangalore. I currently work at an IT company called Rapid Circle as a cloud consultant. In my free time, I like to read books on my Kindle. That is mainly fiction. And I also listen to music and watch a lot of cricket. There's an IPL going on right now. And also do some yoga to keep myself fit. So that's a short introduction about me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kiran. My first question for you today is what inspired you to go plant-based? What inspired you to change your diet and lifestyle and adopt a more plant-based diet? I'd love to hear about the start of your journey.
Sure. So a couple of years ago, I was in the Netherlands, and even when I was in the Netherlands, I was pretty mindful of what I ate, and I used to always do some research on what kinds of food to eat and at what times of the day, I should be eating those foods. For example, like banana is good during the daytime, but not towards the evening because it kind of becomes difficult to digest it, and same goes with apple as well. So yeah, basic things like this. I used to do a lot of research, to keep myself fit. And when I came back to India, my sister was already a subscriber at Sampoorna Ahara, and I heard a lot of good things about this plant-based diet subscription from her, and also some of her friends who are also subscribers. So I decided to give it a go, and I have been a subscriber since then. That is more than 2 years ago now.
Lovely. So you have taken your time to do your research, to learn about plant-based nutrition, to learn about your health. You actively started making changes to your lifestyle. That's fantastic to hear, Kiran. And when you started making these changes, could you tell us about what are the health benefits that you personally experienced? There must have been a time when you started feeling better, you had more energy, you had better sleep, better emotions, your focus improved, and maybe some your lab tests improved. So tell us about that journey. What are the health benefits that you experienced?
Yeah, sure. So basically, like I mentioned a couple of years ago, I was still in the Netherlands, and Netherlands is famous for its various kinds of cheeses. So I used to eat a lot of these cheeses. At one point of time, I used to have around like 7 to 8 different cheeses every day, and that is a very unhealthy amount of you know, cheese to be eating for anybody. And because of that, my cholesterol levels shot up to an alarming degree. And I didn't know about it until I came back to India and had a test done. Yeah, that was like a wake up call to me. And when I after I started eating plant-based food from the Sampoorna Ahara subscription, I think about 8 months down the line, I had another test done, and this time the cholesterol levels were back to a manageable degree. So that's when it became apparent to me that this plant-based diet is an extremely good thing for your body. It can not only keep you fit, but also reduce some of the existing ailments that you may have. Apart from that, like you mentioned, there's definitely a change in the energy. Basically, you don't feel as tired as you used to feel as the day goes on, like towards the evening. And also, you don't feel very hungry because the lunch that we get is quite substantial for one person. um, and also things like your bowel movements, those will also improve. There hasn't been any improvements in sleep, to be honest, but that may be because I have been working. I have worked a lot in night shifts when I was working at a call center, and also when I was abroad. We used to do these 12-hour shifts. So maybe my body has taken a toll, from all that night shift work. But apart from that, I can definitely feel the benefits in terms of energy and in terms of lowering the cholesterol. And perhaps there are some other benefits as well that I'm not aware of. So, yeah.
Lovely. So how much did your cholesterol reduce? It went from what number to what number?
I think it was about 280
Oh,
before, and
wow. Okay.
yeah, that's pretty high. And then it came to
Mhm.
about, I think, 175 or something. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Fantastic. So happy to hear that. I'm sure it would have reduced even further from there. Wonderful.
Yeah, probably, yes.
Great. Uh, so when you started making these changes, Kiran, what
Yeah.
was the first step that you took? What was the first lifestyle change that you made personally? Because for a lot of people, they get stuck in the first step, right? It takes
Hmm.
you a long time to start, but once you start, it becomes easier to make all the other changes. So, what was the turning point for you?
I think for most people, it's a change in their mindset that they have to make. For me, it was slightly easier because, like I mentioned, I was already doing some research on plant-based food and their benefits. And also, I had the benefit of having my sister as a subscriber to Sampoorna Ahara. So I already had a lot of information with me at beforehand. So I think for a lot of people, they are afraid of depriving themselves of the taste mainly. Most people eat food for mostly the taste rather than, I think, the benefits. So for me, the change that I had to make was in the timings, because I used to eat very late, especially in the evenings around, I think, 8:30 or 9 p.m. before. But now with the subscription, it is delivered every day at a specific time. And in order to retain the freshness of the food, I tend to eat it as soon as we get the food. So yeah, I think the timing, when I used to eat food, is the biggest change that I've had to make.
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that you're able to improve your food timings, you're able to start eating healthier meals as well. And from that point until now, you have continued eating a healthy diet and give up halfway. And that's
Mm.
another problem people face. They get started, But then something happens and they get stuck, and then everything reverts back to their old unhealthy lifestyle. So, my next question for you, Kiran, is what made you decide to stick to a plant based diet until now?
Sure. So basically, I think it comes down to the personal discipline that you have. If you give up too easily on something, then you'll be giving up, on a lot of other things as well. So it comes down to your perseverance, how much you're willing to persevere. Like I said, anything in the beginning is quite tough. So in the beginning, when I subscribed to Sampoorna Ahara, um, it was a little bit difficult for me as well to change from the food that I was eating to completely plant-based food. And also, there were a lot of varieties and the low salt and all this. So there were a lot of changes, but I had a lot of determination. That is, one was obviously to reduce those cholesterol levels, and the second was also I knew that continuing with the plant-based food diet will definitely reap huge rewards in the future. So keeping that in mind, I persevered, and it's not that. I completely deprive myself of other foods. Like if I want to have a pizza, maybe I'll have it, once a week or once every 2 weeks on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I can still eat those foods and enjoy it. But my focus is to have about 80 to 90% of plant-based diet and 10% of other kinds of food. So yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic. I'm glad, happy to hear about your perseverance and the way you stuck to healthy eating, uh, and the way you've gotten further and further on that journey from then until now. I'm sure you will hit that 100% very soon. Now, it's difficult to change yourself, but you made it happen, right? Something that's even more difficult than even that is to change your family. And you said that you were lucky in that respect because your sister was already eating Sampoorna Ahara. She was already on a plant-based diet. But what about the rest of your family? How did you feel when you came back and you had to convince some other people at home or your other relatives when you spoke to them about plant-based diets? What was your experience with
Um, so actually, like I mentioned, my sister was already a subscriber. So in her family, she was the only person eating the plant-based food. Um, she has two kids, but with kids, it is difficult to convince them. To change their diets. So she was the only person having that food. But in my family, it's me and mother for now. And with my mother, there were no problems. She took to it very easily. So I don't think she had to make a lot of changes because she's also very mindful of what she eats, and she also likes to keep herself fit. So in those terms, we didn't have a lot of big challenges that some of the other families might face. I know it's different for each person and each individual family. So yeah, I have been kind of lucky to adopt this lifestyle very easily without making a lot of changes. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful. So you had your family support, not just support, they also got on board with you and actively started making these diet and lifestyle changes. It's so much easier when your entire family is on board. It gives you motivation, gives you support, and less problems, to be honest, than most many other people face. Yeah. So my next question is for you, with all the support, with the meals that you get from Sampoorna Ahara, how difficult is it to follow a whole food plant-based diet at home on most days? Because for a lot of people, they feel, people who have not yet started, they feel, oh my God, this is too difficult for me. All of this is fine. It sounds great, but it's too difficult for me. I can't do it. So, what do you feel? What is your experience?
Sure. Like I said, I mean, anything is difficult in the beginning, right? So it just depends to a large extent on the determination that you have and what you want to achieve, right? So for me, my end goal was to have a healthy body and also a healthy mind. So I was willing to put up to the hardship. And when I say hardship, it's not like you're eating grass or something. The food that we get is pretty tasty. I know in the beginning, the salads, especially, I used to have a hard time eating it. But Sampoorna Ahara has come a long way since the last 2 years. There have been constant changes based on the feedback I think received from people in the WhatsApp groups and through other channels. And so I can definitely see a lot of improvements. And today I actually look forward to eating the salads more than anything. So yeah, I would say, just keep at it. Don't give up easily. Give it at least say 6 months of time, and even after 6 months of time, if you feel that this is not for you, then obviously it's not for you, so you can choose something else. So for me, I haven't found any issues with continuing this diet. There have been no side effects or whatever, so I'm perfectly happy with the situation that we have right now.
Great. So, it's been easy for you just because of how good the food tastes, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what counts. People are not so interested in, okay, tell me what exactly went into this dish, how you made it. When you're hungry, you just want to eat food that tastes great. And as long as it's healthy, that's fantastic because your mind is just tasting delicious food and it's enjoying it. But you know that the planning that went into that dish was 100% healthy. Great. So I'd
True.
like to ask you about something slightly different, Kiran. You mentioned that you lived in the Netherlands and you were eating seven different types of cheese a day. And from there, now you've gone almost completely plant-based. So,
Right.
and I'm sure that while you were doing your research there, you found a lot of interesting things. And you may have found something different in India as well. So, what was your experience researching, learning, and trying plant-based in the Netherlands, in India, and elsewhere in the world?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, it is true. I have lived in Singapore and in the Netherlands. And yes, the main staple in these countries is meat-based diet, because meat is available very easily, from the street vendors and from the supermarkets and everywhere. So it's very easy to have a meat-based diet in these places. But there are also a lot of places where you can get good salads, especially in Singapore. Some might argue that they are a little bit expensive, but you cannot be comparing, one currency to our Indian currency, because then you won't be buying or eating anything. But yeah, like I said, there are a lot of good places where you can get some really tasty salads and healthy ones as well. Um, in the oh yeah, and also in Singapore, there are also a lot of street vendors that have these cut fruits. So you don't even have to, take the time to cut them. Just buy it and eat it. Um, so you can still follow a healthy lifestyle even though you are not in your own country and not used to the kind of food that you were eating before. Um, in the Netherlands, there's no specific cuisine as such. I think it's a mix of Chinese, Indonesian, and Western. But yeah, in the Netherlands, there are a lot of supermarkets in every corner of every street, called AH. And these supermarkets have a lot of good salads, wide variety of salads, that are also, I think, pretty reasonably priced. So yeah, you can also look for those options if if you're not used to cooking or don't have the time to cook. You can also look at these other options. So yeah, that was my experience.
Great. So plenty of salads, plenty of things to eat in supermarkets and restaurants. You just have to look for it and find it, right? No matter where you live. That's a lovely
Yeah,
insight. Thank you for sharing.
exactly.
Now, Kiran, coming to what you eat every day, what does your typical day look like? Or what do you eat throughout the day from morning to evening? Because this is another problem people face. They say, okay, I've understood the theory, but what should I cook? What should I eat? So, what do you eat on a typical day? What are your favorite dishes?
Sure. So we start off the day with green juice. It can be anything, based on vegetables or the green leaves, spinach or whatever. And then have a couple of glasses of water. And then that's about it. Then we wait for the Sampoorna Ahara food to be delivered, which is around 11:30 or 12 p.m. Because we've been doing this for a period of over 2 years. For us, it is okay. We don't mind skipping the breakfast. I know it is a big deal for a lot of people. So yeah, like I said, it takes time to get used to it. And once you do get used to it, it becomes second nature to you. So yeah, at 11:30 or 12, we get the food. Then along with the food, we may prepare a roti or two, along with palya, based mainly on spinach or any other vegetables that we have. And that's it for lunch. And in the evening, we just have fruits, maybe one or two fruits at around 6 p.m. And after that, around 7 or 7:30, have another couple of glasses of water, and that's it. That ends the day for us. We don't eat or drink anything after that.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Kiran. I think that would have inspired many people watching this video on what they can also eat on a typical day. It's not that difficult, it's not that tricky. Once you figure it out, it's actually quite straightforward. My
Right.
last question to you today, Kiran, is what are your favorite Sampoorna Ahara products? What do you absolutely love eating from this?
Yeah, sure. So I have a massive sweet tooth. So I like everything that is sweet based. So I like the brownies that Sampoorna Ahara has, and also the chocolate date spread. Apart from that, there's also this tofu based cream cheese that goes very well with the various kinds of breads that you have. Um, so yeah, and also yeah, I think in the early days we used to get this I think payasam made from black rice. I don't see it nowadays. Probably it's being only offered on festivals. But yeah, that is another dish I used to like and look forward to. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, the salads every day. That's also become a favorite of mine. So yeah, these are my favorite foods. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing this, Kiran. Thank you once again for taking your time, spending it here with us today, and sharing your experience of going plant-based. It is definitely a journey. You go from step one to a step 100. And I'm so happy to hear that, your Sampoorna Ahara meals were able to help you accelerate the process, make it easier for you. And I'm looking forward to helping many people watching this video to do the same. Thank you once again for taking time, spending it here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Doctor. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks again. And for all those watching this video, thank you so much for taking time and watching this video. I hope it inspired you to start going plant-based and to adopt a more vegan lifestyle. I hope it inspired you saying that it's easy, it's not that difficult. It's actually easy when you take the right kind of support, when you learn the right stuff, when you cook the right stuff, right? It's easy to eat healthy and tasty meals all day, every day. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments of this video below. If you like this video, then hit the like button. If you found it useful, and share it with your friends and family, anyone else who may enjoy watching it as well. And make sure to subscribe to our channel. And I will look forward to meeting you at the next live video tomorrow. Have a great day and be blessed.
Thank you.